And welcome, I'm HyperGalaxy Starcraft. This is going to be Shakuras Plateau with none other than the Zerg hero, the infamous Vile Spanishiwa. And I was just on the ladder playing a guy and Metalopolis in closed positions, meaning he was up here, I was down here. And yeah, he was trying the Spanishiwa thing. He had like 5 queens and 5 spine crawlers and said he's been trying it out. So lots of Zergs are doing that, and I don't blame them because Spanishiwa, who's playing Bondino, Bondino sounds Espanol. He's been having so much success. Beat the little one in a best of 7 on Husky's channel. So I'm really excited to bring you another Spanishiwa game. Now, if you did watch my last Spanishiwa game, you subscribers, thanks a lot for putting up with me when I yell and scream. It's not really it's just out of excitement, and it's not really 100% appropriate. But I can't help myself because I am HyperGalaxy. I think what happens is, like, I don't actually, you know, I don't. Okay, hold on. This is just, really? Oh, come on. What you do is, when you're Protoss, you build your pylon here, and because your opponent can never be here, what you do is you build the 2 gateways, then you scout. So you scout either here. It looks like he's gonna get it right here. By the way, Spanishiwa always goes for a 14 hatch. You can see he's actually got, yeah, he went for a 14 hatch before pool. And I think that Bondino knows this, so that might be why he's doing this cheese. And MC beat White Raw in a recent tournament at a DreamHack, or I don't know, it was in Europe. It could have been the IEM, I'm not really sure. I think it was DreamHack. It was the last game, and White Raw did not see 2 proxy gateways right here. Oh, killer. Okay, so back to this game. Let's see. We've got Overlords going out across the map. And every player knows what the other player's up to. Let's... Spanishiwa won't figure out that something is up. But let's see, until he goes into the base, let's see how he reacts. So yeah, again, back to what I was beginning with. Yeah, I hadn't casted the game for like a couple of weeks, so I was just super excited, so expect that from me. And it looks like we already have Zealots coming into the base. This could be the end of Spanishiwa. What he's got to do is bring his drones off. Not every drone, maybe. He's got to continue to mine with a few. Build as many Zerglings as he can. Ooh, almost a surround on that probe. You definitely don't want to get the Zealots on the ramp, because if you surround that, you can't get the surround. Let's just see how he plays that out. Let's go to the units lost. So let's go to the unit counting station so you can see exactly what's happening. But you can see, in order to make this happen, Bondino had to cut probes. He only has 11 probes right now. Let's just wait and see. Nice surround on that Zealot. That's what you have to do if you're Spanishiwa. Single out the units, and I'm not really sure if Spanishiwa can come back into this. He canceled the hatchery. A good decision there, I think, because he got his money back. But he's not mining any minerals. Meanwhile, his opponent is mining, and... Ooh, but look at that! 3 spine crawlers! Boom! Brilliant play there. Wow. Wow, that's how you stop. Jeez. Get out of there, Zealots! And the Queen saying goodbye too, so... These gateways now are going to have to... Well, they're going to have to just sit there because Bondino now needs to get his Cyber Core up, needs to get his attack up, and he is very far behind, but it is almost even drones. Let's see what Spanishiwa is building. Looks like he's joining up now. This Spine Crawler, unfortunately, is going to get hacked away. And let's look at the health bars here. How do we do that? Oh, there we go. So to say that Bondino tried his best, but okay, yeah, more Zealots are coming. It's very hard when you're Protoss. I've tried this before, and it's very, very hard to do non-stop Zealot production. After, you know, follow that up, and then, you know, get your economy going and everything. But he is ahead on the food count. It's 17 harvesters to 19. More harvesters now for Spanishiwa. Spanishiwa is building. Let's see what he's building. Just drones and queens. And what do they? Yeah, there are six zealots there. Now the question is he going to follow this up like with a roach warren? How's he going to take care of these zealots? Is he going to build? Yep, he's going to build a roach warren. And there it is. So he's going to have to be on one base until then. Now, if I were Bandino, I would expand because Zerg actually can't get out of this until he builds either a ton of Zerglings or roaches. And as we can see, the roach warren is just now only halfway done. And you saw an evolution chamber being made and then canceled, and the reason for that is because he was expecting he was thinking about maybe there's air coming, but as we can see, nothing like that is on the way. Just stock is being made. 8 minutes in the game. Warp gate hasn't been researched yet. Ooh, Spanishiwa is now supply blocked. Okay, warp gate is now finished. Roach is being made now. Yeah, so if I were Protoss, I would just expand or make units and push in again. I guess like he's doing now. He's trying to kill some more drones, trying to kill these queens in the spawning pool. Honestly, you notice these zealots are in hold position. It's very smart. And Spanishiwa can actually use transfuse with all these queens to help out his roaches when they come out. Assuming he has enough energy, that is. The question I have in my mind is Bandino's build order, is it a response to Spanishiwa's style of play, which is always going 14 hatch? Or is this just the way he plays? Now, I haven't seen Bandino play before, so I can't answer that. We have to watch more games of his. Ooh, unfortunately, there goes the spawning pool, and Bandino finally throwing down an expansion. He now has 1, 2, 4 warp gates, and Spanishiwa looks pretty dead, doesn't he? Because it's 4 warp gates versus a 1 hatchery Zerg. And I've yet to see a game of Spanishiwa actually losing. Ooh, good for Spanishiwa. He's able to reposition those spine crawlers. Might lose a couple of... Ooh, 1 roach there. Does go down. These queens are at about half health. Good. Yeah, having to build your spawning pool again, that is just absolutely abysmal. Abysmal. But let's get the unit counting station. Ooh, it's only 24 drones, so... Really, he's really been cutting the drones, for sure. In order to get all these stalkers out. Blah, blah, blah. Forge. Coming down. And let's look at the vision of Spanishiwa. He does see what's going on. His overlord is there, so it is spotting the expansion. And that's good, because that means the Spanishiwa knows that it's not going to be an uber all-in. He's actually attacking to layer right now. I wonder what he's going to do with that. Not entirely sure. Deciding to build a hatchery. +1 ground weapons, that's a good choice from Bandino. So, Bandino did a good job, I'd say, of transitioning out of that sort of cheesy opening. Able to sort of transition into whoa! I hate it when my keyboard does that, into sort of a semi-normal game. Spanishiwa's got to be careful because he's going to be cornered when he comes over here. He's going to take out this pylon, and I'm not sure though. Can 6 stalkers, can they take out all these roaches? Yeah, Spanishiwa. Bandino really could have punished Spanishiwa for going in there because he cornered himself, eh? But, as we can see, more lings are on the way, so... That's just my friend saying, I asked him to 2v2 with me, and he's just saying, in an hour. Okay, let's put my thing to busy. There we go. No more interruptions! It's embarrassing. Ooh, and this hatchery is going to be spotted by Bandino. Bandino knows what's going on. And all these top-tier players, one thing they do very well is scout for expansions. They scout for hidden bases, ninja bases, etc., etc. Ooh, and Spanishiwa is going to get all the information he needs. He knows the Colossi are on the way. An Immortal out right now. Looks like if we go to the harvester count, Protoss is ahead right now in harvesters, and nice play there. Bandino making these warp gates go up again. Spanishiwa will have to check that. Infestation pit is down. Looks like now Spanishiwa, his style of play is also to get an early hive, so it's possible we could see a Spire soon, followed by a hive and then Broodlords. But he's going to have to do so and survive this push coming. That's a lot of units. Let's look at the unit counting station. Looks like 7 Stalkers, 5 Zealots, 1 Immortal. The good thing for Spanishiwa now, though, is that the Colossi aren't out just yet. That's going to give him more time to macro up, get an economy, make units. He's building 4 Infestors right now, 20 Zerglings. And these spine crawlers making themselves use once again. Interesting that Bandino is not actually making Colossi, but just Immortals, even though he has the Robo Bay right around here somewhere. There it is. He hasn't researched Thermal Lance, so that's good. He hasn't committed to that. It looks like Bandino has found these pylons. Supply blocking his opponent right now for a little while. And it looks like these Zerglings are going to die. Okay, look at that. One Zealot has taken out the hatchery of Spanishiwa, this one. And again, if I were Protoss right now, if you have your Zerg player contained to 1 base, I think expanding would be a good option. And it looks like that's exactly what his plan is. He's not reading my mind. It just feels like the right time to expand. You know, you kill the 3rd base of Zerg, so you expand 1 yourself. Pinning your opponent is always a good idea. You know, there's no reason for Bandino. He could just stay here another minute or 2 and then back up once his 3rd base is up. And then I'll eventually allow, eventually you have to allow your opponent to get their 3rd. But, ooh, let's go to Bandino's cam. Ooh, and let's not back up, but you can kind of see that those Infestors are... You can see like a little black moving thing. So we'll keep an eye on that on the mini map. See, they're obviously... It doesn't actually show where they're rallied, does it? Probably rallied to the mineral line here. And... Third base is almost up for Bandino. Here are the Infestors. And this could be the comeback. This could be a comeback because there's no detection over here. You can see there's no observers here. And we missed just some harassment over here. These warp gates again are sort of a crutch from Bandino in mid-late game. Ooh, look at these Infestors. It just makes me giggle. That's never happened to me, but I'm sure it will one day. Bandino's still trying to power up these gateways. And here... Oh, looks like Bandino actually sees the Infestors. He sees that there's something in his base and... Oh! Yeah, we're gonna have to back up and watch that because we do not want to miss that. Here it comes. Fungal growth in action. 4 fungal growths taking out all the probes. Now, how will Bandino react? Okay, yeah, that's what you have to do. He's like, well, he'll either pull back and play defensively, or he'll just be very aggressive. Ooh, Bandino, terrible force fielding himself in there. Not a good idea. Spanishiwa sending 2 more Infestors, but they will get shot down thanks to these cannons. They were absolutely of no use whatsoever. So that's the one weakness to that play, is that if there are cannons, then ouch. Bandino is convinced that he's safe, but what he doesn't know is that there are 3 Infestors hiding right here, and what he should be doing right now is building an observer, and oh look, yeah, the hive is hive layer. Nope. We don't have a hive just yet. Spanishiwa still on 2 base. And there are a couple things you can do in Spanishiwa's place. You could build some Nidus worms, like maybe Nidus worm here. And maybe one down here. Or even just drop an Overlord with drones. In order to expand. You could build a Spire in order to, defend those locations. And, so Bandino is getting with it. He is building observers. There's an observer right there. And an observer right there. And sorry about that. That was my roommate again coming in. Ah, such interruptions. Interrupting the StarCraft. And oh, it looks like Spanishiwa. Nice around. Late force fields there. Wow, too many units from Spanishiwa. Zerglings, Banelings, Roaches. Is it going to be enough, though? I think it just might be. Wow. And I'm amazed at how Spanishiwa came back from that deficit I mean, wow. Wow, you know what? This just goes to show that Spanishiwa, even though he wasn't able to get his normal strategy up, get his bases up, and just the normal things that he does, he is an amazing, amazing player. Can even do well under pressure, and so I wouldn't actually go in there right now. He is taking out these gateways, finally able to get his third, and yeah, I would have to watch this game in detail a couple more times to really figure out when the balance shifted, but I'm just guessing that obviously killing all those probes didn't help Bandito. That actually could have been the moment, killing all those probes. That was pretty devastating. He lost like 20, 25 probes and has been unable to really catch up. Spanishiwa at kind of a relatively low probe count at 40 harvesters. That's not too many. He was forced to build lots of units. And those burrowed roaches are recharging health. This game will be over pretty soon, I portend. Although this, I don't know, the Bandino does have 2 mining bases to Spanishiwa's 1, so... and that is a lot of stalkers. So, I could be wrong. Just have to see. The truth is I don't know, but I want Spanishiwa to win. Go, Spanishiwa! I don't want to be the first caster to cast a game where he loses. And, ooh, now, wonderful fungal growth there, preventing those stalkers from blinking away. Fungal growth plus roaches, good for stalkers. Yeah. Goodbye, Colossus. Not good in just single numbers. And thinking about it, Bandino may have made mistakes. Like, I think he made too many Immortals, and he should have got Colossi. And Bandino was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm kind of doing the same thing. Like, I can't believe Spanishiwa came back from that. It's like, what did you do? What makes you so good? And in fact, the Zerg player whom I played today on the ladder was like, so I'm trying Spanishiwa's thing. And he was like, well, and I was like, so how you doing? He's like, well, I lost 2. I won 2, but lost 20. I'm like, whoa, man. So I suggested he check out a Spanishiwa replay and really watch them in detail. But he's like, what does Spanishiwa do? It looks so easy, And the truth is, he's probably just extremely good. He does things which we can't even really see, and it's just great decision making. I want to just recap this game a little bit because there was the moment where we saw these gateways being built over here, and we knew that Spanishiwa was in trouble because he got his hatch first here, and the zealots were coming in, like 4 zealots, and the spawning pool was not even done yet. So how do you come back from that? Well, first Spanishiwa got his drones, tried to surround those zealots. They ran away, and that could have been a mistake there. Maybe Bandino should have engaged those zealots. I have a feeling that Bandino, just maybe along the way, he made his decision-making wasn't quite as good as Spanishiwa's, because he started out with his cheese, which should have won. And, then there was his decision to build Immortals instead of Colossi, because at first it started out, he built this Robo Bay, and then he never really got the Thermal Lance, and he kind of built 1 or 2 Colossi, but he never got it in number. That was definitely a mistake. And then at the ramp, like, he had those awful force fields where he force fielded himself in. I think that if he just stood here with a really beautiful arc with like 4 or 5 Colossi, I think he could have done much different. And honestly, I think that that was part of the play. You know, losing all those probes here was not good for Bandino, but just think of the infestors that he lost. Spanishiwa lost like 6 or 7 infestors in Bandino's base, so probably a good trade-off, but that's what it was. It's a trade-off, losing all those infestors. So I would say that this game was hats off to Spanishiwa. Great decision making, great macro, great play, like pro level play from Spanishiwa. And Bandino also great, but just maybe some of his decision making was a little bit off. That's what I'm guessing, because normally like in a GSL when we see this thing happen, you know, those 2 gates, basically the Zerg player is dead. But those players they play hundreds, if not thousands of games, and their decision, you know, and they have coaches, and they've been playing for 12 years, so their decision making is just on a higher level. And I think that Spanishiwa definitely came out on top because he's just a higher level player. So as Tasteless or Artosa said, that what they'd say about Spanishiwa is that rock beats paper. The paper of Bandino lost to the rock of Spanishiwa in the game of rock, paper, scissors. So I am HyperGalaxy. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I don't have my headset just yet, and I'm not getting my computer just yet, but I'll let you know as that happens. The headset is in the mail, though, so that should improve the sound. And I'm just really, really, really glad that you joined me in for this game. You know, I'm not an expert at Spanishiwa, but just watching him, I just get amazed. I'm gonna have to cast more games. He's a fun, because he's just so good. He's up there for me in my favorite Zerg. Maybe him, the little one, and White Raw, my favorite American players, white players. You know what I mean, Western players. Well, that's all I have to say. Cheers. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.